Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, if you saw my second post, it was actually my third day. This is my fifth day, so there's one more coming before you see this one. But anyway, I posted my second video, or my third video, because I skipped the second because some stuff. But this is where I came to, and I decided I was just going to go ahead and redo it. So we've put a little bit of bug spray on, and now we're up here looking at the trail. And this is what we got. So we're here, and this is where we came in, the Millpond Road. So we're going to walk this little guy here. It's going to be a relatively short video, but I'm a little sore after the week of walking, and I've got some things going on where I ended up actually having to find out from the doctor that I was having muscle spasms from all the just abrupt walking and everything I was doing, and another example of me overdoing it. But anyway, we've got it figured out. Things are smoothing out, and so I'm going to take us on a nice little, I think it says 0.33. You probably can't see it in the camera just yet, but we'll get over here to it. We're going to get this little walk in. We're going to go for the short walk so that I can, unfortunately, try to work on my truck this morning. I'm going to have to pause for the signs. I'll show them all that I see, that I notice, but I can only do so much. If I miss one, I miss one. You can see the little number down in the bottom right. This is a nifty little placard. So obviously they intend for you to walk straight. You could go left if you like it better, but this is where they want you to come. Anyway, I ended up listening to my truck while I was driving around yesterday morning and found out that my ball joints are creaking a little bit, which means I need to grease them, which normally wouldn't be a big deal, but one of my Zerk fittings has decided to strip itself out, and it's busted in a way where it's leaking grease out of the side when I try to pump it in. So I decided to redo this video since it's so close to me. This is a nice trail, and at this moment, it's still pretty dead out here. I mean, you see there's a handful of trees that are, they've got some green to them right now. Another sign. But I figured because I have such a busy day and I'm going to be up and down and left and right trying to work on my pick 'em up truck, I'm going to have to kind of keep it to a shorter walk today. So this little itty bitty guy fit the bill. It's pretty out here. There's really good stuff to see when it's grown in during the spring and summer months. Although I'm going to tell you, you're starting to see the swamp, right? Well, this is the pond. This is Merchant's Mill Pond. It's actually a pretty cool story. I'll be coming over here a few different times. If you saw my first video, we were in Mill Pond, but we were on the far front north side of it, off of the main road 158. There's another sign. It is really pretty out here when it's all green, because it gets real thick. Everything comes in and fills right out. It's a little, it can get claustrophobic, but once you get down and around a little bit of this, it's pretty nice. It opens up on the water, although I'll tell you, one of my favorite things, like I said in a previous video, I love seeing trees grow out of the water. I don't know what it is about it. I think that's awesome. You can already kind of see little pieces of the trail in the back. All these turtles are flopping into the water. They're not used to people, so they're real skittish. See them right there on the log. There's another side. It depends on the day. Some days there's a lot of people back here. Today was one of those days where I'm the only one here that I can see. Unless somebody like rode their bicycle here or they took a walk from wherever they live to get here. I didn't see any cars in the parking lot, so we're probably solo right now, which I like. You know, I'm still a little self-conscious of making these videos. I don't really want to go around talking to myself, but we live in 2026. There are millions of YouTubers that go out there and do way worse things than just talk to their phone and share the nature that's around them. I feel like we're doing pretty good on the average day. Quiet, it's nice and calm, it's cool. That's the beauty of being over here in the spring and the summer months, because the canopy starts to fill in real deep and thick and just green. All throughout here ends up being super shady, and it's just a lot cooler than the surrounding areas. It can get pretty stagnant in here. If the water gets real warm, it'll start getting super muggy out here. Got a little park bench. One thing for sure, if you lean on anything, if you sit anywhere, if you brush up against anything, make sure that you check yourself really good for ticks. Especially out here like this place. They're pretty bad. We have a bunch of different types of ticks in our area. We have the Lone Star tick, which is the super famous one for alpha-gal, the one that makes you allergic to, I think it's pork. There might be other symptoms of it that I'm not aware of, but I think it's like pork and red meat. I think you have to like stick to chicken or veggies after that for a while until it clears up, but be real careful. Be mindful of your surroundings. My phone skills are awful. You're just gonna have to work with that. I can't do anything about the sun. But this walk, being so short, kind of works out because it gives you a good example of that 10 to 15 minute walk that they talk about. Because when they're talking about lymphedema, they don't want you trying to run marathons. That's not at all necessary or the point. If anything, that could potentially hurt you if you're not careful. Even if you tried to walk a marathon, I have caused myself an incredible amount of discomfort just by overdoing it in the early parts of the week because I was panicking. Don't know what else to say. Don't know how else to do it. Things happen the way they happened. And, you know, here I am at the end of the week. Most of my swelling has subsided. I still have some abdominal swelling. I still have some swelling in my groin, but it's a lot lesser than it was. And now that I'm up to snuff on knowing that I was having these muscle spasms and that was causing a bunch more pain, I can go ahead and keep myself nice and stretched out, be good and limber, stay on top of it that way, you know, because stretching's important too. I don't want to sit here and act like I'm Mr. Yoga Meister over here because I'm damn sure not. On the average day, I feel pretty good about the fact that I can just bend down and touch my toes. I know a lot of people out there can't do that, so I feel pretty good about that. But now we're talking about having to like squat myself down with my feet as close together and then like spread my knees as far out as I can. And I'm going to have to start trying to do more targeted stretches for the interiors of the thighs and stuff. So it's interesting, but it's good to have the information now. You know, like I said from the beginning, I don't want to overdo it, but I did overdo it. And me kind of overdoing it has exposed other things that I was going to run into later. Things that I may not have known how to deal with, things that would have panicked me then. And, you know, we're at the point now where just enough light walking this morning, and then I'll go work on my truck, which will largely be me laying on the ground. So I'll already have my legs elevated because it's just kind of how I sit. I sit with my feet flat and my knees up when I'm laid up underneath of something. I do really love it out here. It's so peaceful. And I know I'm talking and ruining it. So if you get to this point in the video and you're not a fan of me talking or my commentary, I apologize. One, I get that I'm not terribly entertaining with some of this stuff, but this is me just kind of trying to share what I'm going through with other people so that, we get to a point where, people start to realize they're not alone. It's easy to get on this app and see, massive channels that make everything look super easy. They make life look like it's this joyride experience. And it can be. And it is for them. But the likelihood that the rest of us normies will get to that level is very low. So my whole thought process about, sharing what I'm going through is because there may be people out there going through what I'm going through, and they may not know how to deal with it either. And we can all just kind of not know how to deal with it together, I mean, obviously, everyone that's watched any of it so far have been nothing but supportive. So all my viewers that I've seen so far, thank you so much. Like, you guys are awesome. I think I'm up to 38 or 39 subscribers. We're only 11 or 12 away from the goal of 50 so that we can live stream these walks each morning. And I think that'll be the more fun thing. Now, I'll admit, I'm almost, without bouncing around to a lot of these same places, I am almost out of different locations. So some of this stuff may get a tiny bit repetitive. And if it does, I'm really sorry. But Merchants Millpond State Park is a pretty big park. Dismal Swamp is a pretty big park. There's lots of entrances and locations and lots of trails on all sides of it that all move towards the inside and then all come out. It's the same park, but different places in that park. And these places are big enough that I should be able to bounce around enough that the monotony of repeating the different trails after time shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, see, look at that. Pausing just a few seconds for the signs, and then, consider you could have walked this just a tiny bit slower than me. Well, this is a 15-minute walk. We're at 13 minutes. We're at 14 minutes just about. We're right on track for what we were doing. That's right smack in the middle, and you see the trucks right up there on top of that hill. So we're right about where we need to be for a reasonable walk. And I'll also admit, I do a lot more walking in the mornings before I come out and do these walks. It's because I chat on the phone in the morning with my buddies, kind of just as they're driving into work. We all chit chat about the day before and what our plans for that day are and all this, that, and the other. And so I'm one of those weird people that likes to pace back and forth when I'm on the phone. So by the time I come out on these walks, I've already paced around my backyard probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles. So I'm going to have to calm that down and, focus on trying to use my phone call time in the morning as my stretch time. We're going to walk down to the boat ramp real quick. Off pond 1 hour before sunset. No gasoline motors. No WRC fishing license required. Camping by permit only. All canoe and backpack campers must secure a permit before camping. All overnight vehicles must be registered. Fires are permitted in designated areas only. The destruction, damage, or removal of any plant, rock, or mineral is prohibited. Firearms and lethal weapons are prohibited except by permit. I do think our state park rangers will work with local hunters at times to kind of thin out the herd just a little bit. So, you know, not a bad time, not a bad thing. I don't really know what's in that building, but I know the blinds look all tore up, so who knows? I think that's all duckweed. Could be, some of it may be duckweed, some of it may be algae. But this is the boat ramp. You can drag your canoe all the way out here, and then you can hammer down, and then you can just go off into the pond. I don't think it really connects to any other waterways like that. I think the waterways that feed this are just a bunch of really small inland coming this way water streams. I don't think it's anything that you can get out of here, but I've also never canoed. And, you know, it kind of just is what it is. Air boost, whatever that guy is. It's probably for this decking. But we're going to walk up to the back of the sign so you can see the cool part of this, because this is something that a lot of people think is an old wives' tale or like a superstition. And I don't mean superstition literally, but I mean like kind of like one of those things you tell your kids to scare them so they don't do something. It's kind of like that. A lot of people out here who have gone canoeing and done things, they've spotted it, they've pictured it, the rangers have seen them, everybody's seen them except me. But there are actual alligators that stay in this pond, this swamp, all year round. And they survive our winter times. And it's kind of impressive. But there you go. We have actual alligators. That's kind of cool. You can see how the alligator's chilling and the turtles are chilling on top of them. It's pretty fire. It's a fun time. All right, guys. Well, you see we're back to the truck. So I'm going to call the video here. That was a solid 15-minute walk. Now I get to go home and jack the truck up and start taking the damn thing apart. And all right, y'all. Thank you so much for viewing. Listen, I'm going to take a minute real quick, and I'm going to try and fluff the video a little, so you can go away now if you want. To the 38, 39 subscribers that I already have, and to the people that I don't know that have come in and commented on the 2 videos and the short that I've already posted, well and truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you. My goal is to do something to include as many people as what's possible. I'm not just trying to reach people like me who have problems. I'm trying to reach anybody that wants to learn about my journey, learn about our journeys. When I get to these live stream points, I don't know that I'm going to be able to live stream every single day until I get to a point where I can start to pull some kind of a profit off of this platform. And that's where I explain the monotony of going to the same places, going to the same trails. I'm going to try and consistently go to one new place each week. That doesn't mean that you're going to see the same trail in the same place each day, but what that means is, I mean, a completely new park, somewhere we've never been, somewhere that we can add into the rotation that has multiple trails and stuff, and then I can go from there. Out here, there's lots of trails off of each of these parks, and they go in lots of different directions, so there's a lot of stuff to go through. So we are going to predominantly spend a lot of time around the house, and it may get boring. So I just want to forewarn everybody, I do intend to monetize this so that I can use it as a way to be able to afford to go to more places. I have a small car. Once I can get a bike rack for it, I'm going to go out and look for one this weekend. I had one, and I'm a car guy, so I knew it was somewhere around the house, but I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what I did with it. And I kind of feel like I put it on a car to try and get a sale. Like, the picture I'd posted of the car had a bike rack on it, and then I took the bike rack off of it because I wasn't biking guy was like, well, can I get the bike rack? And I was like, yeah, I guess if you really want it. And he was like, yeah, man, I loved how it looked. And okay, cool, here's the bike rack. So I got to go get a bike rack so that I can string it up to the back of the Jetta. And then there's just some minor stuff to try and get along with on the way. So we're going to do what we can I'm going to do what I can to try and keep this from being boring. And I'm going to try and live stream as often as I can, so long as I can, get up, get out, and go do it. But I just need people to bear with me. There will be times, moments, and days where either I've got doctor's appointments and can't get out there and do it, or I've got some kind of other engagement, like helping a friend, or, whatever happens. Life comes at us pretty fast. So I'm going to try to keep consistently uploading. I'm going to do the best I can. And I thank you all again for bearing with me. This is a learning curve for me. Trying to find out what my limits are, what I can handle, what I can maintain. It's going to be an up and down thing for a little while. And once I find that good balance, that's when we can start really focusing on trying to make sure that the content's good, that the community is friendly, that we all care about each other, because I don't want anybody coming in here and making a bunch of mess on anything. We just don't need that. Everybody has enough bullshit drama in their lives every day as is. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to start something that ultimately ends up needing to be shut down because I can't manage the negativity. So work with me. Let's build us a fun thing. Let's I don't know, man. Let's just be people to people. You know what I mean? Don't worry about how broke you are, because we're all broke. Don't worry about how sick you are, because in some way we're all sick. I'm definitely really sick and I can't do much about it, but I'm still here and I refuse to give up. And I know that if you're watching this, that means you're still here. And I don't want you to give up either. The world needs as many people as it can get. And it's one of those things where, like, I'm not over here saying that, murderers or whatever, any of that needs to be protected. That's not what I mean. But, like, if you're a person and you do decent things for the people that you care about and you just happen to be in a bad place, come chat with us about it. If you're sick and you're scared about what you're going through, come chat with us about it. I'm going to do what I can to provide as inclusive a place as I can for everybody to be able to come in each morning, each day, either watch a video or chat in a live stream where we can just enjoy a few minutes of each day, not having to hate on everything. That's really what I want. So if everybody can just work with me, we'll get this thing fired off and we'll keep rolling. In the meantime, it's not creaking too bad right now, but it was creaking pretty good earlier. Oh, anyway, I appreciate it, guys. I know these outros and me just generically looking at the side of the truck is kind of boring, but that's what I got. All right, everybody, stay safe, work a little at a time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, no, you might see me tomorrow. I don't really plan on doing anything on weekends for the channel. I may do minor posts of shorts and stuff if I come across stuff, but like, I don't have any real intention on live streaming or videos on Saturdays or Sundays, but we'll just we'll see how that goes as it goes. But we'll see you in the next video. Don't give up. Bye.